Max Scherzer's agent, I'll give you one guess. I'm not even going to tell you who his agent is. Do you really not know? There are 8 members of the executive subcommittee, 8 players. One agent represents 3 of those players. One agent who has been involved in negotiating some of the biggest contracts in MLB history, but also gets involved in absolutely furthering his own personal agenda. As Trevor Bauer pointed out, by the way, Max Scherzer is one of those players. Elvis Andrus, James Paxton, they're on the committee. All represented by Scotty. Max Scherzer didn't discuss this with the rest of the players. He may have discussed it with the player reps, other members of the committee. There's been no call with, that's just for math. Remember what we do. We say 30 players on a team. We multiply it by 30, and that's what we say are members of the union. Even though there's more, some people say 40 times 30 for 1,200. Let's just say 1,000 members of the union. It's a different number, but it's 1,200, 1,100, whatever it is, but say 1,000. Scott Boras represents 10% of those players. 3% of those players are on the executive subcommittee. Max Scherzer may have discussed it with many of the players, but he certainly didn't discuss it with all the players. Too many. Says we negotiated a pay cut in the version of prorated salaries. Let me explain for the final time on Nothing Personal until tomorrow. Prorated salary is not a pay cut. How many times do I have to explain the concept? How many times until people understand when you get paid to play 162 games and you play 81 games and make half of your pay, that's not a pay cut. That's called getting a prorated salary. Not a pay cut. What the owners are now offering and suggesting is a pay cut. That's when you play half your games but don't get half your salary. So there's no justification to accept a second pay cut. It's a first pay cut. You can say there's no justification to accept a first pay cut, but the reason why Max Scherzer is saying a second pay cut is that is what Scott Boras has been arguing from the beginning. He has been so public saying the March 26th agreement between the players and the owners says that the players will receive their pro rata salaries based on the number of games played, hard stop. Except he's not giving you the rest of the document. The rest of the document is clear. There's a provision that says if there are no fans, the owners have a chance to reopen to explain why it's not economically feasible to open the season with no fans.